An asteroid really was heading towards us. It was a false alarm, but there have been 2 big strikes this century. So is another one likely? How destructive might it be, and could we prevent it? Here's our science editor, Laurence McGinty.
Hollywood's dramatic view of a comet plunging into the Gulf of Mexico. The impact of thousands of nuclear bombs, causing a tidal wave a mile high, travelling as fast as a jet. In real life, cities will be defenceless. Here, our shields, like the Thames Barrier, against earthly disasters, will be futile against a comet or an asteroid. When these 4,000-ton gates rotate into place, they protect London against a tidal storm 4 metres higher than normal. But if an asteroid landed in the North Sea, the tidal wave that would surge along here would be hundreds of times higher, deluging even Canary Wharf Tower at over 800 feet. The Thames Barrier protects London against a storm tide that statistically happens once every 1,000 years. But is it worth spending money to protect against an asteroid impact that happens only once in 100,000 years or so?
This problem can be summed up in 3 words. It's rare, very rare, but when it happens, it's totally devastating. There is no other natural disaster that we know of that can come anywhere close.
Comets and asteroids are remnants of the creation of the solar system. Huge rocky snowballs from the past, comets swoop in from its cold outer reaches. Warmed by the sun, they form the long tails of gas we see from Earth. Asteroids are usually found in a broad swathe between the planets Mars and Jupiter. But sometimes these minor planets, some up to 1,000 miles in diameter, collide and produce a sea of fragments. The collisions can propel the fragments out of the asteroid belt towards the sun. Some approach the Earth in a new orbit and very rarely collide with it. 65 million years ago, an asteroid 10 miles wide hit the Gulf of Mexico, causing climate change that wiped out the dinosaurs. In 1908, a huge area of Siberia was devastated by a comet. And in 1930, an asteroid hit a remote part of the Amazon rainforest. The Siberian impact, filmed by a scientific expedition 20 years later, laid waste the forest for 60 miles. Trees at the centre were vaporised instantly. So it has happened before and will happen again. That's why astronomers like Mark Bailey at the Armagh Observatory in Northern Ireland want a worldwide network of telescopes to map for the first time the orbits of the 2,000 asteroids big enough to cause global catastrophe.
The very rare impacts, 1 per 100,000 years, will cause global disaster and probably hundreds of millions or possibly billions of deaths. And it's that aspect, the magnitude of the impact hazard, which really has focused people's attention.
Hollywood sent astronauts to knock out the comets heading for Earth, but in real life, will governments pay to avoid a catastrophe that might not happen for 100,000 years?
Today is D-Day in Scottish soccer, with Celtic and Rangers both hoping they'll lift the championship. If Rangers win, happily on home soil. Ashley Blake reports.
From door to door flogging perfume to centre stage in front of millions, Imani is the bookies' favourite with this year's British entry, Where Are You? Her amazing story began after Roy Thomas from East London decided to produce a documentary film about a singer trying to make her way in the music business. So why choose her?
She's got a lot of energy, you know. She's got an energy there that I've never actually seen in an artist.
Imani, real name Melanie Crossdale, is proud to be the first black woman to represent Britain in the contest.
It's very challenging, but for me, yeah, I always wanted that opportunity to go up the front and do my bit and be known.
For Roy, her success comes as no surprise. He's been waiting 4 years to see the talented newcomer hit the big time.
Not surprised, because technically, as a vocalist, she's fantastic. As a performer, an entertainer, that's something else. I'm not sure if we've actually seen the best of Imani.
Now she's destined for the dizzy heights of stardom. Will Roy get to finish his documentary, or will he be left asking, where are you? If Armani does win, she'll be the first British contender to defend the title successfully on home soil.